Yo, Jazza, how's it
What's up?
going?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, enjoying this rainy Sunday afternoon.
Uh, it's relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah. What's alive in you at the moment?
What's alive in me?
Yeah.
I feel like my conscious is alive right now. I think I've finally found where I want to go,
Mm.
and I'm just following that.
Say more than that.
What do you mean?
Like, do you know the destination, or is it a feeling that the direction is right?
I feel like it's a feeling. So you know
Mm.
how you have that gut feeling where you're like, okay, I need to do something. I need to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
when you have an action point, it feels good. It's like, okay, I'm gonna keep riding this wave.
Mm. And how does that feel? How do you, when you say feeling, do you feel it in your body, or is it more like an emotion? Or?
It's more so in the different sets, right? So I feel like in my mind, I feel it in my heart, I feel it in my soul.
Mm.
It's like that what Robin Sharma talks about in his book, The Four Interior Empires. I feel like if I follow those four things, I'm on the right path. Yeah.
What are these four things? I'm not aware of this.
Okay. Have you heard of your health set? Your mind. What your mindset is, right?
I've heard of mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have
Mm.
you heard of your heart set, your health
Not,
set, your soul set?
let me know. Enlighten me.
Enlighten me. Okay. So,
Yeah.
how would you define what a mindset is?
It's how I look at the world and
Yeah.
the
So
things happening in the world.
yeah. Okay. And how would you, I guess, explain? Have you ever thought about like your soul set or your heart set?
Not in these terms. Yeah, not in these terms.
Okay. Well, I learned like this is just from me picking up this concept from a book, but I feel like me reading a lot of books, they all come
Mm.
and this interior empire is like sums up, I guess, everyone's collective experience, whether you'd call it mindset or you'd call it, your intelligence, your IQ. It all adds up into four different areas of your life, right? It's your heart set, which is your emotional intelligence, how you work on your emotions and how you feel with not only your emotions with yourself, but like your emotional intelligence with others, right? Um, your health set. What's your health set? I'll give you a guess on that. What do you think that is?
It's like health is a big thing. It can be physical health, mental
Mm-hmm.
health,
Yeah,
emotional health,
yeah,
social
yeah.
health. Yeah.
Your health set is more so, I guess, as defined by Robin, is is your health, your general health, like your relationship with food, your relationship with water, like water and food, and your physical activity. You can't really look after yourself if you're not looking after yourself. So there's that, and then there's the soul set. It's your beliefs. Whether it's your religious beliefs, your spiritual beliefs. Like, I guess, what's your purpose in this life that we have? But I feel like in the last, I guess, 2 weeks, it's been exemplified um, through certain events in my life. So it's when you go through, a storm, um, that's when you really, really focus on, damn, what am I doing right now? Like, am I doing something with my life that's going to be taking me somewhere where I want to be, you know?
Mm.
But yeah,
And so when you describe it, it's like there's a lot of this maps.
yeah,
Yeah, and like there's an integral model if you've heard of that in the
no,
quadrant.
the quadrants.
Yeah,
Could you explain that more? I think I've
it's like an inside outside,
not really sure.
individual and collective. So
Yes, yeah,
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 yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, maps are like tools, right? The map is
hmm
not the territory, as we say. Yeah,
it's not. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm curious to how you apply this in your reality. You know,
In my
some
reality, yeah.
yeah. Because sometimes I'm oh yeah, we're both into, how would you call it? creative intelligence and innovation
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah and all this new concepts, but
Yeah.
sometimes we get lost in it and it becomes too abstract.
Mhm.
Then we have to bring it down. How is this here right now? Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to how you apply this, because you said you feel you know where you're heading, right?
Mhm.
And what is that? What does that mean?
What does that mean to me? I guess.
Yeah, it's like where you before you thought you felt you were not heading the right way. Is that
Mhm.
what happened?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
maybe yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess when you have like a reality check or reality shock,
Mm,
you have to really think about what you want with your life, right? And
mm,
um, like, is it the money? Is it the purpose? Like, it's like, what do you want to do to contribute back inevitably to society, right?
mm,
And you have to go through like so many different hobbies, different jobs, and different collective experiences in order to see where you fit in, right? For me, I was going through, I guess, I just got my first full time job. Well, not my first full time job, but um, I got in a place where I felt a bit stuck, and I felt like,
mm,
oh, I don't want to get stuck in this. And I found like my purpose wasn't as defined on my hero's journey. Like, I didn't know where I wanted to go. And if I didn't know where I wanted to go, then what the hell am I doing? It's
mm,
like, if I didn't know, I felt like before I had um, setbacks or um, stuff happened to me in life, it's sort of like I felt like you get comfortable, and as soon as you get comfortable, it's like you're just floating in the middle of the ocean, and you don't know where you're gonna go, and that's scary. I think a lot of people start floating in life, like you're just in that boat, and you're just like um, drifting into letting where the sea takes you. But unless you know which island you want to go to, which country, or like what's the goal, right? You're never gonna get there. So I guess with the tools, and you talk about like creative intelligence, innovation, it's like how can you map that all together? Like for me, I had to go through like a really big, I guess, like breakup and a really big um, reality check in my own life that I had to be like, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I've experienced before? Um, what have I learned? And what can I do like just right now to help me get a little bit closer to my goal?
mm.
Mm.
So what do you want? It's one of the hardest questions ever, I think.
I feel like just within my own journey anyway,
Mm,
I feel like as humans, we can never be happy with what we get. Like think about the goal that you want right now. Like for me when I first started, I guess like um, before say let's take it back a specific time period. Say in year 11, I failed pretty much half my subjects in my courses, right? And I was like
mm,
really like depressed. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and all I wanted to do, like the first goal that my mentor asked me at the time is like, "What do you want to do in life?" I'm like, well, "I don't know yet." He's like, "Why don't you just go to uni?" I'm like, "How the hell do I get into uni?" Well, you need to bury your head in the sand and study your ass off for your 12. Otherwise, you won't know what you want to do. Or by the time you do, it's too late, right? So make the mistakes now, before, otherwise you'd regret it later. But then, yeah.
mm. What was going on at that time? Why did you fail a lot of subjects?
Um, well, I had a really, 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 really tough life at the time.
Mm,
At the time before I discovered fitness,
mm,
I really like was just like had a trouble eating. Um, I was teased a lot for being like really thin as well. And gotta be honest with you, the breaking point for that time was like drugs, alcohol, and a really really bad breakup. And it was only until I got to that really low point, then I was like, fuck. I was like, where am I gonna go from here, right? And my only
mm,
goal, bringing it back to the subject, my only goal was to like survive and get into uni. You know, like okay, I know the goal is uni because my parents never made it to uni, and like they're really like worked their ass off to try to help me get to that point. So it's like, the only meaning I have right now at that point of in my life was get to uni. Then once I got to uni, I was like, yes, all done, problem solved. Shit, I got to finish uni. Shit, I got to get a job. And then once I got that, shit, I want to get shredded. Got that. It's like the happiness is not there. It's not there at that end point. Like there's always something that you want to do.
Mm.
And then I guess at that point, I didn't really have my purpose defined at these different points. And then I was just chasing. It's like chasing a dog. It's like a dog chasing its tail, right? Like that was a bad, I guess, a metaphor or analogy, but
No,
um,
no, it's. I've heard it before.
you've heard it before, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
our cat chasing.
yeah. But yeah, I guess that's a thing, right? We really don't know what we want to do. We can always have like a picture of it, but it's always changing. Like the more we learn, or the more I learn, it's the less I know.
Mm, mm, mm. And at that turning point you mentioned in year 11, is that where you created your Gokubrah character?
The
Is
persona,
it
yeah.
persona? Yeah, persona.
Yeah. So growing up, one of my favorite shows was Dragon Ball as well.
Mm.
And the reason I stuck to the persona of Goku is because um, if for those of have you watched Dragon Ball before?
Not much. So pretend I haven't.
Pretend
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah. I always
watch it.
pretend I'm the dumbest person in the world. That's the
Room,
best
yeah.
way.
So that's a good mindset to have though. That's a growth
Yeah,
mindset,
yeah.
Carol Dweck. Because the moment you think you know something, you won't be listening to the other perspective.
Mm.
So Goku is a character in Dragon Ball, and he's one of the main characters. And basically, um, he starts off as a Saiyan, and he gets the Super Saiyan 1, which any Saiyan has never done.
So
And
what's a
basically,
Saiyan?
a Saiyan, it's like it's a I guess how would you call it? Like they're from another planet. So
Mm.
they're from a place called Namek, and they're called Saiyans. So it's like humans, but it's a type of like
Yeah,
race.
it's like a whole.
That's a different, yeah,
It's like a whole universe.
yeah. It's a whole universe, yeah,
Yeah, or
yeah,
like Dune as a universe or Game of
yeah,
Thrones as a universe.
yes.
So
It's a
this
whole,
they have their
yeah.
planet. What's the planet called?
It's called Planet Namek.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, the planet gets destroyed, and he gets sent to Earth. Him and a few
Hmm.
other Saiyans, and because he's from like this other planet, he's got this potential to keep like he's like basically like strong as hell, like strong, way strong. It's like similar to Superman's story,
Superman
essentially.
with the
Yeah,
Krypton, yeah.
yeah, it's very similar. And basically Goku, what I loved about Goku is every time he failed, he'd push through his limits and become stronger than what anyone would expect of him, right? And I love that. I really like aspired to do that. So I was like, I need to change myself. So I just started growing my hair out one day, and eventually I got to a point where it took me like 10 or 15 minutes to style it, but I literally had this like Goku hair. And everyone would like look at me in the gym and like, the hell, bro, you look like Goku. I'm like, yeah, bro, yeah, bro. And then eventually people started calling me Goku, bro. So I was like at my gym. So I was like, and I started making YouTube videos as Gokubrah, and I posted my transformation video, and it got mixed reactions, but pretty
Say
much,
more about that. That's interesting because
yeah,
we kind of live in this like our online lives are interpenetrating our offline lives. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Yes,
yeah,
I'm keen to hear what your experience of this is because you kind of got a lot of reactions, right? Or
yeah, yeah,
kind of
mate, yeah,
a
yeah.
mini celebrity status kind of thing. How
Oh
does
yeah,
that feel?
definitely got a taste of that.
Mm.
Um, well, it was good. Like at the start, I was like, oh my gosh, it's got 1,000 views. Oh my god, 5,000 people seen it. Eventually, it's got like 250,000, and I'm like getting messages, and I'm getting people sending me stuff like on Reddit and bodybuilding forums and everything. And I was like, what the heck is going on?
Mm.
And then people started making comments about me that was like, how do you make a comment about me in like a 10-minute video and you already analyzed my whole life.
Uh,
You know, it's like I've been hearing stuff I've never heard of. Like there was rumors spreading around.
they created a story about you.
It was they added upon the story, and it was like really interesting. You know, it was like first time for me because before that like I didn't get any attention. Right? It's like
Mm.
yeah, it was really weird. It's like a weird transformational thing. But overall, I was really appreciative of like most of the comments, even if some of it was toxic.
Were you just playing around when you decided to do a channel, YouTube channel? Or just you weren't
Yeah,
you weren't expecting anything, or
not really.
was
Like
there a purpose to it? Why did you do it in the
I
first
really,
place?
I really just wanted to document like my journey and
Mm-hmm.
like because I know that I'm going to be transforming, and then like it'd be cool to have a look at a video of me like 2 years from now. Like I'll see how I was a year ago, you know, just to see like how I've been evolving and changing. Because I find
Mm.
like YouTube's a great platform to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you upload a video now, you'll be looking back at it 5 years from now, like wow, like you can compare, you know, and you can see
Mm.
how much you've grown. Because I've had the best thing is about like everything is like being able to grow, you know, and seeing how your perspectives changed. And I really just used YouTube as like a diary and stuff.
Have you looked at this video recently again?
Uh, not in a couple of months actually. So I don't look at the comments anymore, and
Ah,
it's just because I've been so busy, and I
yeah.
don't know. I've been working on like future stuff, so I just chuck it on there, and I don't really watch it anymore.
When you did look at it in the past, how did it feel to look at?
Ah,
It's
okay,
like
yeah.
a
So
snapshot in time.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is like a snapshot in time. That's a great way to put it.
yeah, yeah.
Um, in terms of like looking back at it, like looked at it a couple, I think a month or so ago, a couple months ago. I watched it and I was as a reminder, you know, because I was like, okay, what am I doing? Like what happened? Like what is this? And then because someone was like commenting on it, hey, I saw your video, and like it's really inspiring. Like okay, like I'm still getting these comments. Let me have a look. So I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, like my my perspective of like the world has changed so much. But like it was like it also reminded me of why I started as well.
Mm,
Like oh damn, I used to be this and now I'm this, but I'm also now this because we're constantly um, evolving. We're all constantly changing, you know.
mm,
But essentially, like it just helped me remind myself of like why I started like fitness, for example, in the first place, and how I used to be in the past, and just sort of think, okay, if this was me 5 years ago or 4 years ago, like like how was like the question I really asked myself as well is like that me like 4 or 5 years ago wouldn't have ever thought like I would get to this point in
mm,
life right now, you know.
mm,
So it's like damn, I'm the hero of that my person 4 years ago, which means that me 4 years from now is probably going to be the hero to myself now.
mm. Yeah, a few things are coming up.
Go for it.
So one thing that came up to me was, yeah, there was a point in my life where I attended a lot of these cosplay conventions.
Oh yeah,
Smash,
yeah.
what's the other one? Smash and
Comic Con.
Comic Con, and there was another one that's like Comic Con in Sydney. But anyway,
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name as well, but
yeah,
yeah.
and I was surprised how it's a very, people talk about diversity and equality of opportunity. I saw it in Comic Con,
Yeah,
or in this cosplay, or in
yeah,
Smash. I saw people of all ages, all genders, all nationalities,
yeah,
and they're linked together
yeah.
by this world, right, of imagination, which is so interesting that in the real world we aim for all these high ideals of
Hmm.
equality and
Yeah, yeah.
diversity, and we never seem to get it. And then you go into this, and like
Convention, and you're like,
it's like, wow, this is interesting. This is cool, huh?
what the hell? Like, yeah.
And in fact, but the weird thing is, I've also read, I think in one of the subjects we did, I looked into how the real world of bullying stuff also is infiltrating. It's a weird thing that like gamers and people with cosplayers, they have their world,
Yeah.
but then the politics is trying to destroy that.
Yeah.
In a weird way, politics is trying to. It's like a virus that eats communities, right? And I think some communities in this world have been divided because of when politics enters the equation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was wondering if you could comment on that. That it just came to me right now.
Could you define what you mean? Like, could you give me more, I guess, deeper example of, yeah, so like politics within that perspective?
Because there's like that Gamergate phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's a complex phenomenon where this
As
movement
in like the
being
politics between like esports or
oh no, it's more gender politics. Like I'm a woman, I'm a game maker, and all these bros are bullying me, and then the gamers like, what are you talking about? You know, like it's all
oh
this.
yeah,
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 okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I know what you mean.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So
We're
I've
just
got a
enjoying life, and then now you're trying to get into this, but there's always many
yeah, yeah,
sides
yeah.
and
That's the
issues.
politics behind that. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it gets so complex. It's like, what's
It
happening? What's the
does.
real thing? And then it depends on which blog or which publication I
It's weird,
read.
right? Because it's constantly evolving, and the ideals of like, I guess, like identity politics or gender um, politics between like perceptions. It's set inevitably by society and each like, I guess, community, right? So if we look at, say, let's pick a sample from that big gaming community that we just mentioned. So
Mm.
if I take one that I know of, it's like a big popular game I used to play is League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing where that if you're a Twitch streamer and you stream League of Legends and you're a female, you're gonna get more clicks and views than if you're gonna be a male streaming. Um, and what do you think that happens?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't play the game. Is it they're sexier? I don't know. Or are you supporting feminism? I don't know. It could be many
It
reasons.
could be either, right?
Yeah.
But traditionally, if we look at that sample, if we look at like streamers and the amount of donations like a Twitch streamer would get, if you're a female, would be much significantly higher than a male. But then when you watch esports and stuff like that, or if we're talking
These
about
are the pros, right?
these
Esports
are
are
the pros,
the
then
professionals. Yeah.
it's more so like males and stuff. But I guess with the perceptions, it really depends on like the specific gaming community. I know traditionally, if we look at the generalizations of like, I guess, gaming, like you wouldn't think like when all the boys are playing, you know, Call of Duty, for example, you wouldn't think like one of your girlfriends are gonna jump on and play with the boys, you know. It's just because it's not a normal thing in today's society, for example. But there are cases where like I've seen where like it's all predominantly been like females in a lobby and like
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
it's statistically, if we take it like through statistics, it's very generalized. You know, it's not accepted yet. But hopefully we get in that point of society where it's like, um, you know, there's less gender politics, but more so like what you said about like just the communities are just like
Yeah, yeah, and I guess what's happening is we're in this world, we're in this gaming or cosplay, we're trying to create, well, in the imaginary, and we can create whatever we want. But
yeah,
then somehow, yeah, there's this thing where everyone's trying to. That's what's happening in general right now. For example, the economic way of thinking is applied to everything.
yeah,
But that it shouldn't be like that. It should be more flexible. And
mm,
like, let's say I'm in a family.
yeah,
I'm not gonna charge my siblings or my family like I'm not gonna treat them like a supplier or a customer. It's just gonna
yeah,
be weird, you know. But people seem try to, oh, this is the truth. You have to apply it everywhere. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They like to force.
And also the flip side, because I'm I'm kind of crazy and all over the place. In one instance, I was attending like when I was into Linux,
Yeah.
Linux hackers,
Okay.
predominantly male, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. But then when I go to yoga or ecstatic dance, predominantly female. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see no problem in that.
Yeah.
It's if it's just interest,
Yeah.
and it's all changing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one. Maybe let's leave that can of worms. It's still being worked out.
It's a big
Yeah,
topic. Yeah. Yeah.
and no
Yeah.
one knows. Like, I'm not an authority in it. I didn't do gender studies or anything.
It's
So
yeah. No.
yeah,
Likewise. It's always good to discuss it though. But I guess the big problem I see with like gender, like equality and like when people make like generalizations between like men and women, it's really hard because there's so many different samples and so many different areas that you can pick and choose.
yeah,
And
yeah.
some people like they take it as a grain of salt. So for example, it's like, oh, why is there um, more like females in nursing than males, or
Yeah.
why is there more males in policing than there is in it's you can't like when people make statements, they're not defining it to its core for specific.
And yeah, and even this counting, I'm not into counting.
Yeah, yeah,
Because like we don't need to be account. That's the accountant mindset. Why do we need to count stuff?
yeah, exactly, right.
It's like, what's the
Mm,
right number?
yeah, you can never
Why is
get
it
the right number.
50-50? Is it
Yeah,
75-25?
yeah, what is the right equal number?
And what is equality? I
Yeah,
I have a controversial view in that. Like, I don't want equality. I want people to be different.
yeah,
I don't want to be the same as you. I
yeah,
don't want
like
to. I don't want anyone to be the same as me. I don't even want to be the same as me as yesterday. So,
yeah.
so, so I don't know. I don't even want to be equal to myself, my past selves. So,
Yeah,
so
which is
that's one thing. The other thing that came up to me is this fitness.
fitness. Yes.
Because I remember we were in the Philippines, right?
Hmm.
And we were like in this
Oh,
group
good
of,
times.
we were in the container of this. So you can go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh my gosh.
you were like lifting luggages because I need to do something. Can you, because
Yes,
for,
that's a
for
great point.
people for people who are not there, it's hard to understand
I
what it
understand that.
feels.
Yeah.
Why does this guy want to work out? Because to some people that's a
Yeah,
chore. It's
yeah,
something
yeah.
to do. I don't want to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, mate, honestly, like for those of you who don't like, go to the gym, I guess, or like have that same fit, like for my mindset, fitness mindset, going on that trip with you, Oliver, was like it was life changing as well. But we were let's give some context for everyone. We were where were we? We were in the GK farm, right? And there's basically this farm where we're there for like social change to understand like all these social entrepreneurs and basically it was like I think halfway through our trip. Um,
Yeah, we've been drinking a lot, eating a lot.
yep,
By
yep,
then,
that was another thing as well. Yes,
lots of
and
rice and
and lots
all
of
this
rice, a lot
food.
of carbs, a lot of everything,
Yeah.
And then we got to this point where it's like, oh man, I need to lift. Like I could, for me, before that point, I was lifting for like 2.5 years, 3 years, like nonstop. Like I never missed a gym session.
Like
I would
every day? Is it every day?
Yeah, literally. Well, I've had like a day off, for example, but even with my day off, I'd still go in, do cardio and stuff. So I'd still have that like that thing. But I guess lifting weights was like, for me, I didn't realize it at the time, and that experience has helped me realize it. Um, is for me, lifting weights is like releasing endorphins, right? Like it helps me de-stress. That event, like I felt like I was like losing like not even just my muscle but like my mind. Like when I lift, it's not necessarily to get like like a nice body or like a nice shape. Like that's a good byproduct, but I realized over time through lifting, like I've been lifting for almost half a decade now, is it's more for your mind. It keeps, you need to find something that keeps your mind sane, like a nice structure and releases endorphins. Like, and that's why you see everyone says go exercise, because exercising is the number one thing you can do, not only for your body but for your mind. Like there's so much studies that have been done, and it really just supports that. And through that time, like why I was lifting that luggage and why everyone was thinking, what the fuck are you doing? You're lifting luggage.
I did join you for a bit.
Yeah,
It
you
was
did
fun.
join in, right? I had to innovate. Like I was forced to innovate. Like I needed to lift something, and then that's when I saw the luggages, and I was just lifting, and everyone was thinking, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, this feels so good, bruh."
I need to maintain Gokubrah.
I need to maintain. Yeah, yeah,
This
exactly.
persona won't exist if I don't do this.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But that's
you talked about studies, but what's your personal experience in this? Like when did it change you cognitively when you started lifting?
yeah. Actually, yes. So there's a couple of things cognitively that I want to cover. I'll
Mm-hmm.
talk about, but the first one is my perception, I guess, in terms of the way I exert my confidence to others, right? Like I felt like I've turned like before lifting, I was like really introverted. Like no one talked to me. I'm like really scared, like because I'm like very self-conscious, and like my mindset was like just so on that level. Like introverted. I love gaming. I just like to stick as we talked about before. Like in gaming, why I loved gaming, and I still like, do like gaming, but I used to be gaming like till like 6 a.m. Like I'd be playing every single game, and that was before I started lifting. Um, I really, 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 really just was introverted. I was shy and I hated public speaking. Now, fast forward a couple of years later, I do public speaking. I'm extroverted. I can walk around a music festival in just my undies, like, and not really care. Like, I've got to that point, not necessarily because of lifting itself, but because of the confidence that I get from that, as well as being able to, I guess, expand on like my mind, and that confidence has helped me gain unique experiences in a way that's like helped me cognitively. I have better sleep now. Um, I have a better relationship with my food, and your food takes a big. If you have a good relationship with food and know how your body reacts to food, like for example, for me, I've been counting my calories for 1800. Let me have a look actually. I'll show you just so you guys don't know. I'm like
There's an app for that.
crapping.
There's always
There's
an
an app.
app.
So MyFitnessPal, right here. I don't know if you'll see that. It says
333.
1833 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my old Gokubrah picture, but I keep that.
Mm. So
Confidence,
what does that mean? Counting calories, and how does it help you?
counting calories. Okay, so basically your mind and your like for body, your body, in the middle of this. Well, sorry, it might be this way. Basically, to function like every day, you have your maintenance calories, right?
To
That's
keep you alive. To keep
to
you
keep you
alive.
alive and keep your body running as for normal function, right? And that's your maintenance calories. Everyone has different maintenance calories, but if you eat too much, consistently every day, you'll gain weight and you also like have more carbs and you'll feel a lot more groggy. Like the amount of calories you consume every day has a big impact on your mindset and your mood, essentially. If you eat a little bit or like too much, too little every day, you'll starve. And then what happens when you starve, right? You like you don't want to do anything. Like
You get hungry as
you're
well.
hangry, right?
Hangry.
There you go.
Hangry.
If you can develop a relationship with yourself where you understand whether you're trying to gain muscle or if you want to gain muscle anyway, or you can develop that point where you know how much you need to sustain yourself. That's calories only, right? But breaking down those calories, you have carbs, protein, and fat. Carbs, fat, protein. Okay, having those different, your body will react differently to a certain amount of carbs, fat, protein. The best thing I could, I guess, ask anyone to do is just understand how your relationship with food is. Like how
Mm.
many calories are you eating? Like you don't have to do what I do every day and just count your calories to its core. I only do that because I'm already used to it. I already built that habit. And it's like, oh shit, how much have I ate? Boom, 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 boom. The reason I count them is because it helps me see where I am and understand my goal at the time. Because I'm
Mm.
constantly either bulking or I'm cutting, or I'm getting ready for say a photo shoot, or I'm getting ready for a music festival. I'm getting ready for something. I'm getting ready for summer. Like I want to trim down for summer. I want to have my physique nice and thing. I know how to do that now, you know.
So cutting weight, is that when you don't drink water too much, so you
Uh,
shrink or something? I
I
heard of it. I heard that it can be tough
that is a
when
thing. Yeah.
bodybuilding. You're right. Yeah, yeah.
There's a way that, yeah, so for fitness shows like and competing, there's a lot of builders that dehydrate themselves, so their skin looks
Just
more
right.
mature and stretchy and more shredded. It helps them with their show. But if you guys, like, it depends on like the goal, right? But for the vast 99.95% of like the population that's not going to compete, if you're not going to compete,
Yeah, I mean, it's
want to
just for
lose weight
competition.
fast, trust me, it's not worth it. Do not
Mm.
dehydrate yourself. Always make sure, like, counting calories is one thing, but always making sure that you're drinking at least the recommended of water every day. There you go. You got
Mm.
some water on you.
Yeah, 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 of
There we
course.
go. Yeah, stay hydrated, right? Yeah,
Mm.
that's another thing. Like, you need to stay hydrated every day, and that's also something that affects your mental stability. If you're dehydrated, trust me, you're gonna feel worse off than, it's better than, you know, peeing consistently, but you can understand your relationship with water too.
Mm. Something that came to me. So this is the third bit. We'll go to that. But one thing that came to me as you were talking about this is there's
Yeah.
this concept of getting full, satiation, being satiated, which I guess it can apply to food, right? It's like knowing when to stop when I'm full,
Yeah.
feeling that I'm hungry,
Yeah.
I eat, and then I'm
Yeah.
full, and then I
Yeah.
stop until I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this is because I've been also a student of desire.
Yeah.
It goes to desire as well in life.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you desire
like
most?
no, but there's also that the beauty of sometimes when we're hungry, like let's say I'm single and then I'm feeling this hunger for intimacy. Sometimes I
Mm.
blame it. Why am I hungry? But you should take yourself that you're hungry because the desire is there.
Mm.
And then I look for intimacy. It comes.
Yeah.
Then I should be there to receive it. And then be thankful that I received it. Because what happens sometimes is like to me, like sometimes is when it's happening. So I run after things because I'm hungry. And then it comes, and instead of just being there, receiving it 100%, I'm thinking of the next thing,
Yeah.
and then I'm out of it. Then I'm always hungry because I don't really get time to
Yeah.
savor it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and not know when I'm full as well. Because sometimes when you overeat, like the first, let's say an example, the first ice cream is amazing. The
Mm.
second, not so. The third is like,
Yeah.
fourth and fifth is just want to vomit. But sometimes you forget that
Yeah.
in real life. Because I have this close friend who is also a teacher in this realm. Like
Yeah.
we went to this event,
Mm.
and
What was the
halfway through
event?
the event, it was like I think it's one of the BCI balls or something.
Okay.
And you can bring a guest. So I brought her, and then it's like halfway through, said, "I'm full. Let's go." It's like to her, you don't need to finish the whole thing.
Mm.
If you've already had your fun, then you can go.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson. Like because
That's a
sometimes
good.
we just sit through it, even though I'm enough. Yeah. So that reminded me when we talk about relationship with food and
I like that. I like that. That's some valuable thing. I'm gonna take that away too. Imagine just
yeah,
being at an event, right? And you, so say from a perspective of, I guess, say as an entrepreneur, right? You're there, like, I've only got a limited time at this event. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna see what's it all about, and then I'm gonna leave when I realize that there's no value here for me. So
yeah,
you,
or you've had enough, and
yeah,
also like yeah, they discuss this in economics. Sometimes there's sunk costs, and
yeah,
people are so. Let's say you paid for a movie. A lot
yeah.
of people won't walk out
Mm.
because they
they
paid for it,
they
even
paid
though
for it
they
just because,
already
yeah,
hate it. But
yeah.
actually, if you count your opportunity cost, that you could be doing something
Something
else.
else, yes,
Yeah, which can be
yes.
more life enhancing.
I get it.
Then yeah, if actually it's not, you could lose the money, but the time may be
Time,
more
the
valuable than the
time is the,
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Have you heard of that? Reminds me of a concept. Might be go a little bit off track with this one, but
No, there's no such thing as off track.
but this with the concept of that is like, in life, right? You're gonna have those opportunities where you can leave, but you know you want to leave, but you don't, just for the sake of like that thing. You're already committed to something, but like there's nothing holding you back except for yourself. Like, for example, when you um have like an energy vampire. Do you know what an energy vampire is?
Let me guess. So it's when I'm with this person, I feel drained afterwards. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
all they do, that's a spot on definition, by the way. Nice.
I'm just guessing.
So basically, you're gonna meet these people in your life. There's this people that uplift you and provide you value with like with something. They point you in another direction or like supportive. There's people that's like, and then there's negative vampires. Oh, energy vampires. Basically, they they suck your energy out of you. By the time your conversation ends, you're like, oh, and they really affect your mood. I can't remember who spoke about this, but I think it was Dandapandi. He spoke about this in one of his TED talks, and he's like, whenever I have like an energy vampire, because your time is valuable, right? Like that opportunity cost. Like when you have someone come up to you and you know like they're an energy vampire, when they say, "Hey, how you going?" Like you'd be like, "Oh, it's a lovely day, right?" And then you just go on with your day, right? You don't be like, "Hey, how are you?" "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" It's like, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm good." But if you don't really want to find out how that other person is, like you just be like, "Oh," because you know they're an energy vampire, and you know they're gonna be like, "Oh, they're gonna like bitch about something, or they're gonna be negative, they're gonna be toxic." Like you can already separate yourself from that, that scenario. But I guess so many of us, like, you go to a party or like, oh, we should hang out next week. I'm like, yeah. But when you say yeah, but you don't want to really hang out, like, you're really lying to yourself,
Mm.
essentially. Like,
Yeah, I've been to that period in my life where
mm,
I overbook all my calendars, and
mm.
then I realized, what am I doing? Like, I'm running myself like a corporation. I'm not a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
corporation.
yeah,
I'm a human being.
yeah.
I don't need to be fully utilized, even though if I'm not enjoying it. And it's just running from one event to another, and it's go,
Mm,
why am I even doing this?
yeah,
And and also I find that strangely enough, in Sydney, most people are overbooked in Sydney. Maybe it's changed now with the pandemic, but before it's like, hey, just want to do something. It's hard to
it's
just
like,
be because they already
yeah,
calendar. It's
yeah,
like, why do people calendar so much? I
yeah.
mean, it's useful, like if you're
It's useful, yeah.
going to the dentist and things like that. But if you're just gonna be having pleasure, why do you need to schedule?
Mm, mm.
I guess,
That's true.
yeah.
I agree with that,
I
especially in
mean,
Sydney.
I'm not ditching it because it's useful. Because
Mm,
sometimes you need to do it, but probably it's not a good idea. At least in my experience, it wasn't.
no,
I feel much better when there are days where I wake up and I go, "What do I want to do
to
today?"
do
It's just,
today.
it's just so
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah, yeah. I like that. Just like
Mm.
literally go with the flow rather
Yeah,
than
and also,
yeah.
have you heard of Nassim Taleb, the author?
No.
Yeah, he wrote Black Swan,
Oh, yeah.
Anti-Fragile. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He talked about this. It's like he doesn't have an assistant,
Oh, really?
even though he's very rich. Because once you have an assistant, then you
Yeah,
have to manage your assistant. It actually eats up your time
yeah,
because you have to
yeah.
give them something to do. Then so he's like he calls himself a flaneur. A flaneur is someone who walks aimlessly in the
Uh,
city. Because
yeah,
if when you have the fuck you money, you can do whatever you want. But
yeah.
some people, when they have the fuck you money, they actually are more restrained because they
Mm,
they over
yeah,
complicate their life.
yeah, yeah,
They schedule too much. They're all in these
yeah.
events. They have all this staff, and then you have to manage all this staff.
Mm,
But what you can do is just be free, and then when you need something, just pay for it, and then it's done, and then do another thing.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I like the way he talks about it, and also Elon Musk in his one of the recent ones in Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
he talked about he's selling all his assets. He's selling his
Really?
house, yeah, because it's a burden to him. It's
Oh,
like
really? To Elon?
he's smart because
He is smart.
It's
He's
not a good to be a billionaire in America now. You're being reviled, and if you have all these big houses, you're a target. It's a
yeah.
vector. It's a target vector.
Yeah.
And he said, if I have nothing, then
What are you gonna take from me?
yeah. And he said, and also he talked about how I was planning to build this house, and I want to be the perfect house.
Yeah.
But then I thought that would take time.
Yeah.
But instead of spending the time, I could be getting us to Mars. So maybe I'll
Mm,
just do that. It's different. I like a different mindset.
yeah. That's a good mindset to have. But it's a very
Yeah.
hard mindset to develop though.
I know because we've been conditioned in a way to have
Yeah,
all these objects of success,
objects of success,
having
indicators,
having
right?
something.
Yes,
Yeah.
the societal indicators, and we're a very consumeristic society.
Yeah, although it's being
Like it's all
challenged
about
now
it's all about
with
stuff. What do you
with
have?
with, with COVID-19, it's being challenged, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. Even just
they
with the workforce, right? It's like, oh, everyone we work from home now. Like, where's
yeah,
that
and
balance
the
between?
economy is going down, but people still are okay. It's
Yeah,
it's gonna it's gonna reveal a lot of things about human nature, I think.
yeah, yeah. It's good because you're seeing this juggle right now. It's all about managing cases, but also keeping the number of businesses open, right? So you're literally juggling between this difficult, like even you're seeing the politics behind this. It's like COVID cases, lives, versus people's jobs and money, and like people are going to go starve if they have no jobs. You know, the economy versus the lives aspect. What's more important? Like how do you juggle? Like how do you get that balance?
Yeah, and even it's a good time for innovation actually. So,
Yeah,
like now, before people were saying, "Oh, universal basic income, what a load of rubbish," but now it's happening.
yeah,
Most people are universal basic income. I am on universal.
yeah, yeah. That UBI is a very popular concept. They even know it.
Now, yeah, because especially when automation comes,
Mm,
when we really get good AI,
yeah.
we won't need much workers anymore.
Mm,
So we have to find a way to still be alive as a decent human being without
yeah.
jobs. So why does having a job become the primary criteria of
Yeah.
being
That was a that was a
a
big question actually. I covered I think a year or two ago. The Human Rights and Technology Conference. They talked about that. It's like
what did you learn from that?
they're really trying to figure out. Well, main learning is humans like we're flawed and we're erred, but in terms of AI, if we get into AI, we found in our project is humans are always going to be the ones to dictate the rules of AI, and if we give them too much power, too much creative freedom, then eventually they'll outsmart us, and they'll. But if we teach them the ethics, but that's the hard thing, right? Is to teach AI ethics. It's like we have to always be the ones that's driving AI, right, through human-centered design, rather than letting um, the AI decides themselves. Like it depends on the rule that they're understanding and who's creating it, right, and who's involved in that design process. Like, is it just hungry business people or is it just like everyone? So it's very
I think the challenge there, if it's really intelligent, then
yes,
you can't
that's the
control
hardest.
it.
You can't, yeah, yeah,
Like, how can you? It's a good question. How can you teach AI ethics when we can't even teach other humans ethics
ethics,
properly?
yeah.
Maybe we should perfect that with humans first.
How can we expect to have like a perfect AI with like perfect human ethics when it really depends who's building that AI? Is it a good guy? Is it a bad guy? Like,
And
is it good or
not
bad?
even then.
Yeah,
Even if it was a good,
all bad. Like,
because being alive, if it's really an intelligent like human level
yeah,
or greater, then it will evolve beyond the design.
yeah, that's
You know what
true.
I mean? Like
Mm.
us.
That comes to a movie. I was thinking I would explore that. We can even do like mainstream ones where it's like Terminator, right? They're like they came to that conclusion, that hypothetical stance where it's like the hypothesis was like humans are the disease. Like you think about it from the perspective of that Terminator one, right? Have you seen Terminator?
Yeah.
They start evaporating the humans because why? Well, they're the ones that's destroying the planet, for example.
Yeah. That's Some humans have that idea.
Yeah, consume, 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 leave
No,
nothing.
but I think it's wrong to me.
Mm,
It's erroneous way of looking at things because we're separating ourselves from
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
We are in it. It's not like we're outside nature and oh, this is
yeah,
nature. We should take care of it. No, we're inside of it. We're dependent on the thing.
yeah,
Sometimes we think we're powerful, but no, we're in the thing.
yeah.
So whatever's happening right now, we are it.
Man, you are sending me into the abyss right now.
So the third thing, which reminds me, the third theme I was thinking when you were talking about your Gokubrah transformation is
Oh yeah.
so I've had a lot of good-looking friends, both male and female,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's this weird thing that when you're looking good, there's this weird assumption that you're not that intelligent. Have you
Yes.
encountered that? And how does that
Yes.
feel? Right? Yeah.
Oh mate,
Yeah.
I remember just meeting people like they'd see me online and they'd know who I am through all the different media I've been in, and they meet me in real life and I have a conversation with them and they're like, man, you are so much smarter than I thought you were. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, it's like, well, I just thought you were a meathead. And I was like, oh yeah, thank you for that, appreciate it. I got meat everywhere, even in my brain, but it's people are quick to judge, I guess, on
Based on
persona.
appearances, right?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
appearance, yeah. Especially like my relationship in the past, I guess, like with like people. I feel, I don't know if this is a general assumption, but when I used to go to like parties and stuff, and like I felt like maybe this is another thing that's like this is very subjective, like the thing with like confidence, and I was like really introverted in confidence, and now like at parties like I'd get like not now but like because of COVID, but like previously like I'd get like so many attention like from females, for example, and they're like, oh, hot ads. Like I even have remember this one party that was so weird. Yeah, and anyway, it's so weird because like I got so much attention that night when I first did my I don't know if I was stripping or anything. I was just like a guy that was like I was running around the event just giving out roses, and I was on stage dancing, and just the amount of attention that I got I was not used to. And I felt like, and then when like I got all this like attention from like females, it's sort of like, do you love me or do you not love me? Like, sorry, are you only talking to me because of my appearance and my body, or because of my personality? And then I came to realize over time that you can realize people's intentions first couple of, I guess, days or interactions with them, but you only learn that through the experience, I guess. But yeah,
So how does it happen? Is it like a gut feel or is it something else?
it's more so, yeah, sometimes it's a gut feel, and sometimes it's more so you just have a conversation with them and then see what their interests and values are. And if they don't align with you and like, why are you talking to me? It's like, oh, I know why you're talking to me. Yeah, you sort of learn from it over time. I can't really explain how but when you know. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's interesting to hear it from because again, the stereotypical way of looking it's usually they say it's the women who feel this,
yeah.
but you're just living proof that it goes both ways, right?
It does go both
Yeah,
ways. Yeah, it
yeah.
does. Yeah, coming from someone who was like just wanted maybe one acknowledgement, attention, to like a lot of attention. I've seen like both sides of the story, and then I only just searched for something that was genuine. I also found that like at one point when you were talking about before, it was you were talking about like, oh, you schedule things, you have like so many different things going on. I was at that point one time because like um, I was the like second in command for this uh, very large event like society for like universities, and I'd be flying out to different states, like even consistently, and I'd have like a lot of friends, a lot of people trying to grab my attention, and I was like, what the hell, I can give everyone my attention. Wrong. You can't. You can only interact with so many different people a day, other before your brain just starts to get exhausted because there's so much information, so much. Like even if you have maintained conversation with like 10 people a day, that's 10 different conversations you're having in a day, right? So
And if 5 of them are energy vampires,
there you go.
they're
There you go.
fucked.
You put that link. Yeah. I usually have like 3 or 4 energy vampires, you know, and it's well, like, and then I just give everyone my time. But then I learned, you know, time is valuable. The people you interact with, like you can tell straight away. You can only learn through experience, like who you should give your time to, like, and what's the purpose. Or if you're gonna just be helping them, like help them. But if it's too much, like you know, it's okay to just just take a step back and not plan anything and just
Yeah. It reminds me of another useful tool that I found over the years is to set a container.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, let's do this
Stay
for 10 minutes and we finish the container, and then we could set another one, but
I like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah.
it's even hot and sexy for like let's set a timer, let's kiss for 10 minutes. It's actually really really amazing when because because you know it's gonna end. You just focus on that and then you
because
go.
you'll do that exercise 10 minutes and you're gonna make I'm gonna make those
Ah
10 minutes
man, I'm
count.
100%
Yeah.
because I know it's limited, right? It's not like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's finite. Like
yeah.
you're gonna spend that 10 minutes like on Paul. And then you'll
Within the
think, oh,
finite, you feel the infinite. There we go.
there we go. You also got that. Sorry, this is probably stupid to say, but you got that 10 minutes of like that containment for kissing. Then you move to the next container.
if, if you want,
Yeah, if you
or
want.
if
Otherwise, you'd be
you,
like, I gotta do something else.
if you're full, then you and maybe it will happen another day.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man. That's funny.
I think that feels good. Is there anything else you wanna? You can
Oh man,
ask me too, whatever.
we could probably talk for hours. Oh, I'll
Yeah.
ask you something. I guess in terms of like, I think purpose. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we started with at the start. Is how has your like? Have you ever been satisfied? Like, has your purpose changed throughout the years?
Oh
And
yeah,
has your
yeah, yeah.
perception changed? And I guess when that change comes, what was your best way to deal with that change? You know, like life. If anything, I've learned from life in the past month or two is like things can just change like that, and your like world is upside down, and you need to just like gasp up for air and breathe. You know, and the purpose thing is the only thing that will help you survive and like keep afloat. You know.
Well, I have a different. Right now, I've
Yeah.
come to a different place with
Mm-hmm.
this. I've been doing this practice of a goalless
Oh.
practices.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's a few ways of explaining it. So let's say you know your goal, right? When
Yeah.
people say, I know my purpose, I know my
Mm-hmm.
goal.
Yeah.
It's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mere fact of doing that, I've already killed any other possibilities. Because you know
Mm.
what's gonna happen is because I wanna reach. Because you define it, you know.
Yeah.
I think define is an interesting word because life is full of nuances. It's really
Mm-hmm.
fine-grained life.
Yeah.
To define it is to make it coarser so you
Yeah.
could understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only understand something fully if I'm outside of it,
Yeah.
like this glass. I know what it
Okay.
is because I'm outside of it. If I'm in it, it's like hard. It's like fish. They don't know what water is because
There
they're
you
in
go.
it.
It's like the goldfish example, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't. At the moment, I'm not into setting goals.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, my life is like so random. But but there's a certain direction.
Yeah.
It's not like random, but there's a direction. It's like another way of looking at it is, you know, desire and love and these things.
Yes.
it becomes problematic when I attach it to a thing, a person. But if I cultivate it without being attached to anything, it's still there, and it will attract the right things
Yeah.
without me trying to predefine it before it happens. It's a bit like a dance in a,
Yeah. I like that.
and also I'm actually experimenting with this right now. It's how to exist just in the present. It's
How to exist just in the present without like the future, like the concept of the future
yeah, and the past.
and the past. Ooh.
Because if you think about it, or if you really, the future only happens in the present.
Yeah. And what do you
So whatever future it can never happen, and unless it's in the present. It's a bit like, you know, that joke in this bar, free beer tomorrow. So you go to a bar, said free beer tomorrow. Okay, then you go the next day, free beer tomorrow. It never arrives.
Yeah.
Because it's always referring
Yeah.
to something that's not here.
Tomorrow never comes, right? That's why it's like, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, you
Yeah.
say, I'll do that tomorrow. Like, tomorrow never comes. That is like, you're on the ultimate journey for, I've been meditating. Oh, I've been meditating as well for 1,000 days now plus. And that is something that everyone's still trying to get, right? It's pure
Yeah,
mindfulness.
even meditation has become like a goal, which is kind of
Is it completely?
counter to, because the whole point is it's to,
Yeah.
it's like yes, it's like the Goku. But then what I'm saying is like the Zen thing. Yeah, but we're already in it. Ah, there you go. What I guess if there's an aim,
Yeah.
is to be total at every moment.
Ooh.
Being total means not being perfect, but being total means being there, accepting everything that's there. Shadow, the bad things, sadness. And by being present every moment, then the future will take care of itself. Because, do you know what I mean? Like if I'm,
Boom. I like that.
yeah, and also I was thinking everything that happened in history that's really hurtful or destructive was because of a future goal.
Yeah.
It's all about the afterlife or utopia or a perfect society where everyone's equal.
Yeah.
All the worst things ever done in the history of humankind is about this future state. Like,
That they want to achieve.
I'm Stalin, we're gonna the perfect communist state, you know, or Mao, they did that.
Yeah.
Or the fascists in Italy, they were influenced by the futurists, you know, when things you learn in design school.
Yeah.
The Islamic State, ISIS, they're being animated by this future of a caliphate of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heaven or paradise when you do all these things. It's always the future, and I think if I'm just present, I'm gonna see what's happening, and I'm gonna. That's the thing, though. When I do this has to be a lot of trust.
Yeah. How do you find yourself like? Because it's so easy. Even for me, like I try to do that every single day, and I feel like I've been meditating for so long to help me get a little bit of like tools to like ground myself to the present moment, right? Because it's so easy to just get distracted. Everything pulls your attention away today, like in society, right? Technology is a big one. Like, how's your relationship with technology in that sense? Because notifications, boop, like it'll just, you know?
This is where this interesting path is because you're not accepting it.
Yeah.
The more when I react to something,
Yeah.
I'm already subjugated by it. So the weird thing is to be neither for something or against something, because it's like you're dividing the two.
Yeah.
So if I'm
Being just
total,
aware
let's say I'm I'm gonna be in Facebook. If I dive totally into Facebook,
Yeah.
and if I'm being true to myself, I'm gonna detach at a certain point because I'll be full. You know what I mean? But if I try to resist it, it's also controlling because the effort of shooing it away, it's already spending my energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if it's, let's say, I'm not into TikTok, it's not pulling me. Then I'm totally free from it because I'm not against it. I'm not for it. But it's just not there. You know,
Yeah. Ah.
it's an interesting kind of.
What?
Yeah, but I think that's where the total is. Like
Mm,
the other day, I was eating. I haven't had McDonald's for a long time,
yeah.
but then I had one. But I was really in it. I got so much pleasure out of it, but then I'm done with it. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like I'm still that. Oh, I want more. It's just like
Yeah. You're
it
satisfied.
satisfied me.
You're
Maybe it
pleased.
will come later, but
Yeah.
again, see, it's not here now.
It's that thing with desire, right? You've fulfilled your desire, you acknowledged it. It's like, okay, done. Like,
Yeah, it might come again, but that's the thing. It's being present.
yeah.
It's like how I was just listening to this Zen math on the shadow integral Zen uh, master Roshin is talking about shadow work,
Yeah.
and he said one of the practices they do in shadow work is
Yeah.
to detach myself from stories. I have to ask, what am I feeling right here, right now?
Yeah.
So let's say I'm against the corporations, but then I ask, am I feeling that right now? Because these are our stories. You have to fight the conspiracy. You have to, but then is it here now? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? What is in front of me? What is it? What is relevant to me? Sometimes
Yeah.
I get caught up. There was a time in my life I get caught up with issues that, yeah. But then I realized I'm not even in America. Why am I being worked up by what's happening in America? It's just like it's sapping my.
Yeah.
I should be like doing something else, but I'm sapped by this.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea is it's more like a negative path. It's not trying to bring something because it's already here. It's just removing.
Yeah.
It's like one of the other things I'm listening to is like, what is it that is not born will not die?
Mm.
So what is it that will remain? That will not be destroyed by death. That's the thing I should be looking at. Because everything else is like a dream, right?
Yeah. Wow. What did what what was that point, I guess, for people listening is how did you get to that point? How did you like gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do this? Like what got you to that point? Have you been thinking about it beforehand or is it something that
I do a lot of experiments. This
yeah,
is the current experiment. So I'm
that's the current
saying,
experiment. So how
yeah,
did you
what I'm
find this
saying
current
is,
experiment?
well, I've been listening to talks by Osho,
Oh, sure. Okay.
Rajneesh, you know, that Wild Wild Country. I haven't seen the documentary. There's that. I've been reading books. I just, here's the thing, right? I used to be a nerd. You would understand when you're gaming. I used to be a nerd.
Yeah.
I like books.
Yeah.
But then I just took it that, that it's true. But now I'm on another stage. I read books, do things, but then I try to make it my own.
Yeah. Oh, that's
See how
awesome.
it works. So I just go through cycles. So this is the current cycle.
Yeah.
Like you in the past we were talking about I did keto. So
Yeah.
I'm always doing experiments
Yeah.
in lab. Yeah. And some experiments stay.
Yeah.
Like
That's
experimented with orgasmic meditation in 2014. I'm still doing it. I'm teaching it now. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah.
I like that. It's because well, you have to go through like those experiments to know what you want to keep, you know, and what's useful for you. And if it's not, then um, you know, you just keep it aside. Like that's
And it's the only way I found
yeah,
that helps me from being manipulated.
yeah,
People get me. I got manipulated in the past because I just believed. Yeah, that's another thing. I've gotten rid of belief.
beliefs.
Like
Like completely
I
just chucked it out the window.
no
What?
beliefs. It's like it's either I'm experiencing it or not.
Oh,
It's kind of useless if you think about it. People argue about beliefs a lot, but it's meaningless.
Because their beliefs can change, essentially.
Yeah, and it's
And I think,
also,
yeah,
I guess it's how you define it, but like belief means you don't doubt something,
yeah,
but you need doubt for everything. So
you do.
doubt becomes trust once, but belief
Because,
is you
yeah,
just you don't it becomes static.
yeah,
The backstory of religion as well. People when people believe religions, they never change. Like they
mm,
just go by these things that were developed thousands of years ago, and they still believe it's.
yeah, yeah. You talk,
Whereas,
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Like, I was gonna mention that too. Like, um, when you take something in as your belief, in order to really believe something, like if you believe it, like you have to be able to question it. You have to be able to. But then, you can get rid of that belief. But you have to be able to question something. If you're not able to doubt or have doubts, then like you're giving all your power to something that you believe in, right? And you,
yeah, but this is even the next step is not to question at all because questions are also meaningless ultimately
mm,
because it's in the mind. So in Zen, there's this no mind, how to
to
be
have
not in the mind,
not in the mind, yeah.
but use the mind because it's a tool.
Mm,
But then when you're not, it's like if I'm learning computer programming, I need to use my mind to. But then after it's done, it's a bit
yeah,
like this story that let's say, let's say I use this to drink water, right?
yeah,
I don't carry the glass after I drank water forever. But sometimes we use that with the mind. We use it for something, but then we
yeah.
always, yeah, it's like I rode the horse to town. I don't need to carry the horse
No,
wherever I go.
yeah.
I can leave it there and then I'll come back to it when I need it again.
Mm. I love that. So how long are you gonna be? I don't know. You can't put a duration on it, right? It's just gonna keep going
It's
until you
goalless.
find something. Yeah, it's goalless. I love that.
But it's evolving. It's the thing with Osho is very rich. He talks about Zen. Before that, he talks about the Hasids, the
Yeah.
Hasidic. And now he's talking about the Baal mystics. It's like, wow. Because with Zen, it's no mind. With Baal, it's more like love. To them, love is the thing.
Mm,
Love is. That's why in Facebook, you would see me like having a lot of quotes about love recently. It's because of I've been listening to these talks on
I love that.
them. It's the them literally love is the force that keeps the universe running.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Sorry, my brain is like literally in the abyss right now. Like the way that you think about what you're talking about and how you're going to apply to that, it's like making me think, wow, maybe I should apply a little bit of that in my circumstance at the moment. It's like
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to.
awareness.
It's
Even when I'm just
yeah,
looking around right now, it's like I don't notice something like your mind, right? Like there's so much things that you can focus on in any given time. Like for example, right now you're focusing on me, right? But then there's so much happening like around you, like you don't know of like what's placed on the table, what's there, like what it's yeah.
peripheral. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how do you make your peripheral like that you're complete aware? You have to keep training your mind to do that, or is it sort of like
I'm more now on feelings. I've been developing my
feelings?
feelings a lot
Yeah,
because I feel feelings are richer.
yeah,
It's like so there's doing before you do you think,
yeah.
but actually before you think you feel,
Feel, yeah,
and then what's behind feeling is being.
yeah.
That's a chain.
Oh, I like that.
It's even being proven in cognitive science. So there's this researcher called Antonio Damasio,
Okay.
and then his research he studies people with cognitive disorders, like when the right side of the brain is not talking to the left brain, or some people have this they forget stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to reintroduce yourself every time you come into the room, and then
Mm,
there's people with locked-in syndrome. So he was looking at those patients,
Yeah.
And based on that, he was able to come up with what is consciousness.
Really.
And, and he's come to a conclusion that I can't actually think if I don't feel first. So in a way, that all this rationalizing comes after the feeling.
Mm.
It kind of makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
if let's say there's this story like there's the horse and there's two pools of water. Where is it gonna drink from? If you're gonna calculate and philosophize about it, you'll die of thirst.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just follow the feeling, you just
Feeling,
go.
you'll just go and you think, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or like we're born from people who reacted to the whatever's happening and reacted quickly. Because if you're just standing there, is it a tiger? Maybe it's not a tiger. Maybe it's an illusion. Then you already been eaten by the tiger. You know?
Yeah. It's too late.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fast, lightning fast. And in a way, it's to my experiment is how to train it, how to because it's fast. It can also be wrong sometimes. That's the thing, you know.
With your feelings, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
yeah, with that, do you go with your gut feeling? Like, how do you even explain your gut feeling? Like, do you go with that gut feeling or do you go with your heart? Right? Sometimes you have your gut and then you got your heart and then you've got your.
it's like a
Where's your feeling coming from?
it's like a so this is where shadow work and excavation comes in
Shadow
because
work.
shadow work is when so this persona you're talking about you created Goku persona, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Personas
yeah.
are the things we want.
Okay.
I'd like to be seen like this.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow is the self we don't want to see. So I have to look at that because if I don't look at that, then they could be the ones whispering me to go to the. It's gonna screw up my
Yeah,
sense making.
yeah,
I mean, not to get rid of it, but to bring them into the family.
yeah, yeah.
So in a way, like another thing I've listened to is like I have to be when I say total, I have to be total inside as well.
Mm,
If I'm having a war inside, then there's no way I could achieve even if I meditate forever, I'm not gonna achieve the peace I want if I have a war inside me. If I'm
yeah,
sitting there, it's like the old joke. Is this newbie? Oh, I want to get enlightened.
yeah,
Keeps following his master. Please, master, I want to get enlightened. And, no, I want to get enlightened. And finally, the master goes, "Really? You want to get enlightened? Yes. All right. Sit under that tree, and whatever you do, don't think about monkeys." Of course, what's the first thing that comes in? Monkeys, monkeys, monkeys.
monkeys, monkeys, monkeys. What am I not going to think about?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
that's the
God.
thing. Like if I'm inside this war me, should I meditate or not? Then I've already lost it because I've already divided.
Yeah.
Which is where the word individual comes from. It's
Mm,
undivided.
yeah.
That's the the highest meaning of individual is you're undivided
Undivided.
inside.
Yeah. Ah, wow.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. You sent
It's
me
fun
into.
experiment. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you gonna get up to? Is it just gonna be every single day is just gonna be
No
decided on how
moment,
you
moment.
feel? Every single moment, sorry, is gonna be decided on your feelings, right? That's cool.
No, no. Again, being total,
Yeah.
because that when you say that, then you cut away thinking, it's having all of it, right? That's the thing. I guess that's the tendency is for us to find the magic bullet. There's no magic bullet. You have
There's
to
no
bring
magic
all of it. It's like, oh, I just want to be happy, but can you really be happy if you don't know what sadness is? It's just like
Yeah, yeah,
two
it's
sides.
that two-sided, that's like, yeah. Uh,
It's a way of, I guess it's the way of feeling it. It's how do I be comfortable with paradox without, like
with the paradox of,
because there's this inside. There's always this me that wants to resolve things,
yeah,
but you can only resolve things that have already been
being
solved.
solved, yeah,
But if I want to live a new life each day, then I step into the unknown. How can I solve something that's still unknown?
yeah,
So you can never resolve it because to solve it means I've known it already.
Yeah.
But if I just exist in what is known, then there's no way to grow
Yeah.
because I'm just be stuck in that no known universe, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Boom.
And laughter is amazing. Actually, laughter is the you get a laugh sometimes when you look at life. It's like
You see those moments in life where it's sort of like, it's like a really shit moment, but you find the beauty in a shit moment.
yeah, and
Just laugh.
also,
That's what helps a lot of people get through it, to be honest.
but there's also this experience the other day. I was looking at this. I was in Maroubra, or yeah, or walking along the beach, and I saw these beautiful clouds and the sea. It's so beautiful. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But then it made me feel sad. It's so weird. Like this, all this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'm in a perfect moment, and but there's also that emptiness at the same time. It's just like wow. But then sometimes you're down, and then there's also that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But then I guess it depends on what lens you're looking through now, right?
yeah.
Because then people, there's two sides of people. It's like that example. It's like, do you see the glass half empty or do you see the glass half full, right? How would you respond to that now? Like, what are you doing?
Well, a glass can't be half full if it's not half empty.
Boom.
By definition.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah,
That's again, people want to cut, like procrastinate. I want to cut stuff, but maybe if we stop dividing stuff,
yeah.
then there might something interesting might happen.
Mm,
Like, are you left or right? Why do you need to choose? Like,
yeah. Why do you
what's
need to
all?
choose if I'm right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm in the middle. Am I in the middle? I'm somewhere.
Or if you have no beliefs, then I just act each moment the best way I know how.
Yeah,
That's all you can do, really. Actually,
yeah,
that's all everyone can do is at each moment be the best way we know how to be.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
What else can we do? Right? Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that statement? It's by Stephen Covey. I think it's Stephen Covey. But it's
Oh, this is the
basically,
7 habits of people.
yeah, yeah, 7 habits, and I think one of the habits is begin with the end in mind, right?
I don't. Yeah, again, that means you have a goal.
That is a goal. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like that before. That's,
yeah,
it was helpful. It made me a lawyer because, but then I thought I never wanted it in the first place.
So then, what made you want to be a lawyer, and then now you didn't want to be anymore?
Because that time I was looking outside. Because being a lawyer, I get respect, I get the money, I get
Yeah,
if I have the money, if I have the prestige, I get the woman.
yeah,
It's all this utilitarian thing.
utilitarian. Yeah,
Yeah, but now it's like I'm trying to just do things because I want to do it, because not
yeah,
of something else.
yeah. There's no goal, right?
Like
There's
this,
no.
I'm doing this. This people ask, why do you do this?
Yeah,
Because I love doing it. It's not like SEO, whatever, content.
no,
It fucks you up, yeah. And then
yeah. I don't want to SEO. I don't want to. I want to gain. I want to gain subscribers,
I
listeners.
want to have my funnels, do my course on funnels.
I want everyone to build my credibility so I can build this course.
But then it becomes dry. It becomes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I love about. Like,
At least that's how I feel. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. I like that.
yeah. That's another thing too. Is I'm trying to always say things from my point of view, so that I don't say things that as if it applies to everyone.
Yeah,
That's another pitfall, right?
yeah,
But the weird thing is, it kind of makes me seem narcissistic. But who cares? It's just an impression.
yeah,
This is always I. But the thing is, I'm doing that because I wanna make sure that I'm just speaking for myself, not for everyone
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good though, because a lot of people speak opposite of that, right? They always like speak for like
The world. This
the
is the
world,
right
this is
thing.
that, this is, and then already when you're saying that, you're already imposing your beliefs. You're already
That's right.
bringing in those politics, and you're bringing in those, You've already
It's
been in that.
tricky. Sometimes when people ask questions, it's not a real question. They've already trapped you by the question.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to
Sometimes
be aware that, oops, no, no,
they've already
I don't,
trapped you
I
by the
don't accept the
question.
question. Yeah, yeah. You've already narrowed it for me.
Yeah, have you seen those conversations where some people they just argue for the sake of they're not like really listening. Like there's a types of listening, right? And then there's that listening in the terms of they're listening, but they're listening from to take whatever they say so they can attack the other person, right? It's like the trick is like a lot of ones they say, so you're saying this, so what you're saying is that, so what you're saying is this, right? They're already trapping you with that statement because like hold on a minute, I didn't say that.
You're the one
When did I
saying it.
say that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what does it mean to win a discussion?
Yeah.
Did it make the world a better place? I don't know.
Yeah. How can you know that the discussion you're having is inevitably going to be good or a bad or just is like how
Well,
can
for
you?
me, if I feel good after a discussion, like if I'm feeling good, like nah,
Yeah.
that's enough for me.
Yeah. I like that.
there's
But that's
not,
that.
there's no bigger agenda. It's just like that.
But then
Good
if there's
feeling.
no bigger agenda, you're finding meaning through feelings, right? Through your emotions. Yeah. I like that.
It's also that difference from. So when I was reading that book, he on the Damascus book on the feeling of what is. I think it's a title, but he distinguished between emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
So emotions is the things you see. Animals have emotions. It's energy in motion. Like when animals get angry or when they.
Yeah.
But feeling is when there's consciousness. Feeling
Yeah.
is there's an I that's feeling the emotion. So it's another level.
Yeah.
There's that self introspection. I'm
Yeah.
feeling this.
Feeling
So
this.
to do that, there has to be an I that's up.
Yeah.
Whereas, whereas I could be amnesia. I don't know who I am, but I can still have emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why like that's what this makes humans on top of of the chain of like
No, we're not on top. Nah, I guess I don't agree.
you don't agree like in terms of like just like animals, right? Like
We're just
humans
different.
we had
Yeah.
difference because we have that conscious, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're on top, I think.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
that
yeah.
statement I might have to rebuttal that statement, remove it back. I meant like in terms of the
What sets us apart from
what
other
sets us apart
uh,
from like animals and everything
yeah.
else is we have a conscious, right? We have those feelings,
The self
the self introspect,
that we know of. It's
that we
hard
know
because
of. Yeah,
apparently, like dolphins and
really. Well, maybe they
octopus, they're
have that
really
ability.
smart. I think.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
but we don't know because we cannot communicate with them, but we observe their behavior. I think
behavior.
so as scientists.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you seen the octopus? There's some of the octopus stories. They're so smart.
yeah. But we
They
don't
they
know
can
yet,
trick
right?
the yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's all the unknown.
Yeah, and there's also like fungi and bacteria. They're together. They're like amazing
Yeah,
at evolving.
yeah.
Like we evolve. I don't know how often do I change, and it's not every second, but bacteria can evolve within seconds.
Mm.
They're far ahead of this evolution thing. Like with this virus, it's why it's hard to with the flu virus. It's hard to make a vaccine because
Right.
they keep changing
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
The same with COVID, right? It's like a
Mm.
different strain of something. It keeps
Yes,
evolving.
whereas I, for example, I'll be lucky to be really different after a year. You know what I mean? We're slower,
Yeah,
but although it's getting faster now, things like
it
with
is. Yeah.
culture, we're evolving faster.
If we compare it to even just the last 50 years or even last 100 years, like right now, we are like we're the luckiest human beings to be alive right now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right? If you
To
think
me,
about
I
it.
agree. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, right?
It may not seem like it, but I think
Doesn't seem like it right now, but yeah.
that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Ah, this is good. I guess we can end this and then we can do another one.
yeah. Well,
And,
what would you record? What would you title this? Like based on the conversation that we just had.
ah,
You scanning.
The goal of goallessness.
I like it. I really do.
Because we started with purpose,
The
purpose of
Yeah.
purposelessness.
I like how we
Goal
went.
of goallessness.
Yeah.
You like that? The goal of
Yeah.
goallessness.
The goal of goallessness. I don't know how you just spent like 10 seconds in silence. I've got the title. It's like you just picked it out of like.
So I've been telling people, I do a lot of puns. It's not that I'm thinking about it; it just comes.
Just comes
So,
and you
sometimes
just.
I have to stop myself
Yeah,
because
that's good. I like
if
that.
people don't know me, they'll get annoyed if I just come out with. But if they know me already, it's okay because that's him. He's always like that. But it's not as if I'm thinking about I'm gonna make a pun. No, it just flashes like that.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know. I just need to accept. I honor and accept it. All right, thanks, man. This has been really fun.
I really appreciate it. Like this has been like a really good conversation,
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see and hear from your experiment or your
and you as well. Maybe we could do another time and we could see.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you know what happens with this experiment.
Yeah, that's good. Well,
Yeah.
thank
And
you so
let
much
me
for having me.
know. Yeah, thank you. Gokubrah
Thanks, guys. Well,
Jerwin. Maraming salamat.
maraming salamat.
See ya.
Take care.